Praise the Lord. I got filled with the Holy Spirit and baptized 3 years ago. Before that, I've described it to a few people as kind of being like the crazy bag lady that you see like walking around. Because I was just like completely, so absorbed in, the kind of craziness that was in my mind and my heart. I was always full of anxiety, and to the point of just like feeling like I was going to explode, and it just led me to I just kind of led a really strange lifestyle, and for I guess my younger adult life. I won't say all of my adult life because I don't think I qualify for that yet. But it's always fun when the Lord kind of brings those memories to mind of like what your life was like before, because I'm grateful to now not really have any thing to compare it to, no recollection really of it. I just feel like a completely new person, because before every day was so dark. I was talking to Mary Parker while we were in Georgia, and she was sharing some of her testimony, and I was saying, yeah, mine is kind of similar. Like every day was a struggle, but instead of with her, the struggle being with drugs, for me the struggle was to like not eat every day, or to not do the things that are necessary for us as humans, and so I just dreaded every day, and I would just kind of like have it get some idea in my head of like what would make me a better person, and so I'd go and like visit all the homeless people and pick up all the trash. It would take me hours to get anywhere, because I would like bike along the road and like have to stop, and in my mind I had to pick up every single piece of trash, and it was nuts. And I would like stop and like bury dead animals that were in the road, and just things that looking back it's like, whoa, I was that crazy person. And so when I heard the gospel, and I was traveling in Australia, you guys know this, these people were preaching the word to me. What I saw was this like carefree life. Like they just, they knew who they were. They knew what they were meant to do in life, and I didn't see them doing any of this stuff to try to be right. Like one of the sisters who shared her testimony with me that day that I heard the word, and she said, I before I was in the Lord, I was vegan, which is like, check, yep, that's where I was. She said I couldn't go into a grocery store and buy anything because I was afraid of the impact that would have on people halfway across the world, and I was thinking, yep, that's me. And there she was sitting on the couch, just enjoying the company of the people in the church, and eating ice cream, and I was like, this is amazing. I've never seen, that's who she was is who I am now, and I want to be this. And so I stayed with this couple in the Lord that night. They put me up because I didn't have a place to stay, and the next day I asked them if they could baptize me, and they did, and I received the Holy Spirit, and I spoke in tongues. It was soft at first, but then I went home and prayed on my own, and it was just amazing. Like, I would just go for walks and pray in the Spirit for hours, because it was like, what is this? And it was just so satisfying. And since then, the Lord's just transformed my life. Like, I no longer feel those anxieties and those worries about how to be right or to be perfect, because it's just, I trust that that's not who the Lord wants me to be, and that I can put my old man away, and that that everything of my old life was buried in the waters of baptism, and I'm very grateful for that. A couple of testimonies that happened recently. I sprained my wrist at work, and it was just like excruciating for a couple weeks. Like, they had to put me on reduced duties because I couldn't lift anything. I couldn't like scoop ice. If you can't scoop ice at Starbucks, you're kaput. I was praying about, I prayed about it at the beginning, and I said, Lord, like, I'm not going to fuss myself over this, because, like, I know that I could beat myself up every day until I get the healing, and I could, tell myself that, oh, I'm not praying enough, that's why I'm not getting healed, or I'm not, not believing enough, that's why I'm not getting healed. And instead I just said, Lord, like, you're the only one who can heal me. I know you will. I'm just going to, like, not even think about this, and just enjoy having a little bit of an easier time at work. And so it was, it was what it was for a couple weeks, and then there was like all the stuff with the making a claim at work, and finally I got on the phone with this claim manager, and we'd been playing phone tag for like a week, and she told me about, because we were talking about the doctor stuff, because I had to, I had to go and just like make it official. And so she was telling me, oh, like I have tendonitis, and it's really painful in my arm and my shoulder, and so we kept talking at the end. She said, do you have any other questions? I was like, because she was like, oh, are you gonna like pursue like filing a claim against Starbucks? And I'm like, no. But she said, do you have any other questions? And I said, yeah, can I put you on the prayer list tonight at church? And she was like, oh yeah, like please, that would be awesome. I'd love to get healed from this. And so I came up and prayed for her, and the next day I was healed, and I had no more pain, and I've been back to work as usual. So that was awesome. Then just before Georgia camp, for as safe as I've claimed my new apartment to be, and it is safe, but there have slowly been more and more homeless people making a nice little city of mattresses outside my back window in the alleyway, and so I said, Lord, this has to stop. And I had prayed about it, but I said the day before I left for camp, Lord, you have to, like, please, when I get back, I want this to be gone. Anyway, so that was like in the afternoon. I went to the gym I was probably only out of the house for like an hour and a half, 2 hours max, and like there were mattresses everywhere, like made into teepees and trash and just like strollers and everything. And I came back, and the whole alleyway was spotless, like it had been just like wiped clean. And I was just like, whoa, Lord, like how did you do that in such a short amount of time? So that was really awesome. And I mean, I just praise the Lord for not having to worry about things. Yeah, I was doing laundry before this, and I realized, oh, it's 7:05. And so I said, Lord, this laundry better be there when I get back. So hallelujah, the meeting's more important. Life in the Lord is good. Amen.